Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Lisa Grail. Today I have very big desire to share with you some talks on different topics. Let it be as it should be. I didn't prepare any script. And though English is not my native language, I will do everything to make this video be comfortable. If you don't want to watch, you can speed up my speech, or you can just listen like a podcast video. Though I'm very beautiful today. I like these new earrings. And yeah, I would like to share with you some very popular conception which you may find on YouTube and in social media. Concept of 3D, 5D, 4D, what it is. And it's very hard to explain when you are not in those states of consciousness. But I will do as much as I can to explain you and also to give you some clues how you can shift, why you need to shift, and what it is, what it gives you. Our mind always searches for benefits, isn't it? If we don't see any purpose, we usually don't want to change. Only when we are at the very low states, at the bottom of our life, then we shift into survival mode. Then our psyche, our mind, tries hard to help us for the survival of this flesh. Okay. So today I want to highlight such topic as 3D, 5D, 4D, what it is, why D, dimension, yes? Dimension, density, is it quantum physics term, or what it is? I will share only my experience and the knowledge which I received through last 2 years, because I also had no idea what is 5D, what is the blissful state, what it is the enlightened psyche, proactive psyche, and so on. So 3D mind for me is a perception of yourself as personality, with a name, with age, who was born, who has social roles, who has some traits of character. And you are playing, not you, but mainly people playing these roles, and the psyche starts being rigid. We become very narrow thinking, programmed, and narrow minded. This is 3D world. When you consider yourself a victim of circumstances, you believe in objective reality where you exist only like something which reacts automatically to external stimuli without no idea who am I, what are my true desires. It's like, the constant betrayal of your true nature, because the perception is so blurred and so triggered by everything and stimulated with some chemical things, sometimes overeating or some drugs, that we lose this connection. But not for nothing, we have such a tool as Kundalini Yoga to reveal this connection. And here I achieved some results. And I know that for some people, these results are too radical or unusual because it's not the lifestyle of most of the people on the earth. But I believe that soon everything will change. And we see these rapid changes right now. They are very scary. And everyone realizes that there is no stability. Stability is an illusion. And what you have is only what you see right now in front of your eyes. 3D world is life out of mind logic, where our left hemisphere of brain is leading. I'm not saying that logic, analytical mind is bad. No, it's very good and helpful in some situations. But usually when you need to make decisions, you need to connect with your irrational part, with your subconsciousness. You know the answer, but usually our logic interferes and leads astray. And what is 4D and 5D? 4D is transitional state between the dual perception of reality, as I said, and absolute bliss, when you have no evaluations, when you accept the whole reality and choose your perfect scenario, because you are so calm and you are so abundant from within that you become a magnet of good events, and you see a lot of synchronicity and miracles in your reality. It's completely different perception of reality without struggle, without this irritation, without judgment of people, politics, and wherever. Because if we are so involved with our emotions, with all we see and read from news, our psyche becomes unbalanced. And we poison ourselves with these emotions. As I told before many times, unfortunately, many people are addicted to those states when we want to suffer subconsciously. And in my community on YouTube, you can read articles I share some articles in the flow. I love to write something, my insights, and share right away because it's like channeling in the moment. So I prepared this article. You can read it also, but I want to comment on each point I specified here. It's called 11 Signs That You Are in the World, but Not of This World. Evolution of Consciousness, Transition to Different Perception of Reality. Why you are in the world, but not of this world? Because you see the same reality. You see cars, you see nature, people talking, but your perception changes so much that you see at the same time that this reality is not so stable, that is kind of illusion. You perceive more like in lucid dream, you are understanding that you are sleeping and your higher beingness or your consciousness is located somewhere not in the body, but rather you are the whole space, you are the whole film in which this action, like in real film, happens. Though you have opportunity to observe this film from the body, and the life becomes very exciting out of this new perception. As a character, as a persona in the body, you have this wisdom of perception. You see clearly the reality how it is, not through your mental programs, not through distortion. So I would say that this is not a dreamy state with unicorns, but vice versa. It's very grounded, very realistic perception of reality without limiting beliefs, without denial. You see the colors, you see shapes, forms, as if sometimes for the first time, and the whole perception of your sensual organs sharpens, sometimes up to psychedelic perception. I never will suggest using microdosing mushrooms because mushrooms is, I would say, these are a population of species which can affect our consciousness hard, and then we maybe won't be belonging to ourselves, but their consciousness. It's not products. It's definitely like aliens, on our planet. Never use mushrooms. Never use psychedelics. Be patient to develop all your natural abilities, which just blocked. So you can receive so much bliss and it will shift you to a real world. Someone even see that our reality is built of waves, not particles. See, like this real world is not so dense and all materia seems to be not so stable, pulsating. So as a sound, for example, it has some density and frequencies, and you can capture some low vibrational tints in the speech of someone, or vice versa. You can hear something which will be very high vibrational, for example, some music and so on. And inexplicably, you will be attracted to someone who speaks from the high vibrational state. It happens when the wise master speaks satsangs, for example, when people, even without understanding what exactly happens, being involved into this beautiful space of calmness and bliss, which is emitted from the master. In the presence of such person, you become more harmonious and automatically you step on the path of self-investigation, which will eventually lead you to this present moment, the ability to be only here and now without any thoughts or worries about past or future, but it should be trained. Like muscles trained at gym, we train our attention. And when the attention is strong in the current moment, you get this very big range of colors. Even your eyesight can improve. Also, it happens due to some biochemical things happening in our body. For example, when the nervous system is very calm and relaxed and we don't have the tension inside the body, muscle tension, all liquids begin to flow smoothly through the body and it reveals clarity and this adequate perception of what you see in front of your eyes. So the first point was that you see reality differently. The picture itself is different. For someone, I repeat, it can be so different that you perceive that you are in some kind of new reality, or even you shifted to some dimension where the time is being perceived differently as well. So you become the observer, the witness of the whole picture, and you can play inside the picture any role you choose with awareness. And what I like about these states that you enjoy each moment because thoughts are not interrupting your relaxed state. That's why people usually drink alcohol or use something only because they want to reach this relaxed state. But we can use Kundalini Yoga as a booster to get rid of tension within, and automatically our balanced nervous system will lead us to clarity of perception. It's very easy. We are very dependent on our hormones, and when we have a lot of triggers, stimulants, or a lot of food consumed daily, our hormones are disbalanced. We are like on emotional swings constantly, and it also interferes with the clarity which we can gain if we train attention in the present moment, and as if we are even sucking the energy out of objects. I call it reversed attention. You can direct your attention straightly to object and give your energy there, or vice versa. You can make different cycle of exchange with reality when you seem to suck inside yourself as into black hole all that you see and be energized out of objects you see, and like reverse your attention and then put attention into your heart chakra, for example, and you're present in the body and very aware what is happening in the body at the same time. Your breathing, all your movements are very conscious, so you can grab the energy from the outside. This is life hack. And it's the mechanism how we consume the ether from the reality. And this is the condition why some people energized out of nothing, why they consume only prana, energy of creation. So they don't need so much quantities of food or don't need food at all. Second point, thoughts fade into the background or completely subside. Yes, of course, when you are here and now, your attention is busy with what you see right now. And if you get rid of assessments which are connected with your previous experiences and your previous conception and limiting beliefs, you just see the green grass, for example, or leaves of the trees which are bouncing out of wind, and you see like, oh my God, what is happening? So you don't have time to perceive yourself through the prisma of your previous experiences. And that's why the thoughts are somehow very silent. I don't think that it's possible to completely get rid of dialogue inside yourself. I would say only during samadhi, deep experiences, when you completely not in the body. I would say you are everywhere and you are everything, so you don't have thoughts. But it's impossible to live out of samadhi, out of the highest point of samadhi in the reality. Some people leave society and go to meditate somewhere in ashrams, but you still can be very effective and productive in society, while at the same time you will be in different dimension in 5D, where you perceive time differently. Your moves become more slower. You're not in the rush of your thoughts and movements. So the thoughts are existent, but you are hesitating that these are your thoughts. Usually you have this witness or customs inside your head who says, is it for real? Maybe these are not my thoughts. What the hell is going on in my brain? Why it's so negative? Is it for real? Is it truth or not? Maybe I can just keep on observing what will happen next out of calmness. I won't be judging. I don't know. I just accept all variations of this event to happen with me. I'm like witness. And this state gives a lot of benefits. Sometimes we react too fast. We make fast decisions. But this state of observer inside gives us possibility to become more wise, flexible, and more accepting, using all situations for our benefit. Proactive psyche. This is the only way nowadays that will help everyone to cope with all tragedies, disasters, and somehow with this transitional state on earth, because it gets rid of all negative, low vibrational emotions and unfortunately people. I won't say that all victims who faced war consequences or disasters were at the low vibrations. But I would say you can give yourself a chance, more chances to survive in any situation if you have this calm state. You are vibrating at those frequencies that are not matching very low states. You are in the different reality. It seems that you are in the same world, but you are a little bit above. You are like in the parallel reality. I have such weird suspicion. Let's pretend these are only my imagination, okay? But I think that if we will be vibrating so high, we will shift to another reality where you even cannot meet people who are very low. You will be not like a ghost for them, like transparent entity. But who knows, maybe like this. I believe and I feel sometimes the presence of something which I cannot see. I feel the energy. I capture these vibrations. For example, I was meditating downstairs in summer. I was doing my meditations for rejuvenation, the massage of the face without a contact. I will definitely include this practice into my course for women, which I'm working on right now. How you can rejuvenate your face without any kind of cosmetics or applications, fillers, and so on, just because with the power of your consciousness. I say that this is mental rejuvenation. I call it mental rejuvenation, maybe someone else too. And I was meditating, doing my procedures, and then I clearly felt someone standing in front of me. I captured the energy of a black man, very tall man, who, creepy. He was standing and staring at me. I couldn't see him with my eyes, but something inside me knew that someone stands right in front of me and watches me. Haha, how do you like such idea that we are existing in different densities? And people who cleanse their energy channels and have this pure perception of reality automatically can be connected to some people, creatures, species, I don't know who they are, who are vibrating higher. That's why the phenomena of channeling can be easily explained. I would say I also starting to receive not messages, and not schizophrenia, maniacal voice inside me, but something is trying to get contact with me lately. I'm only observing and staying aware of myself, of course, and keeping the focus inside me. I'm absolutely adequate, just in case. I'm more healthy than most of people, as I see. But I cleansed my perception to that degree that sooner or later, maybe some super abilities will reveal in me, and I will be starting channeling or something, or receiving insights or some messages out of these angels, archangels, or someone who contacting only those who is ready. Of course, we cannot see and we don't believe in many things which seem to us magical, though these are our ancient abilities. And they speak about the ancient civilizations, ancient Slavic civilizations and traditions, which I also discover more and more because these are my roots. And I feel that my ancestors were very, very wise, and they knew everything starting from the how the hair length depend on your tuning into this layer of reality or not. I believe that our bodily systems and even our teeth and organs are used not properly and not to the full degree as they cannot be used. For example, teeth are the prolongation of nervous system, as I discovered, and it makes us to react on external environment and feel even some vibrations of environment and understand whether we need to go there or not. For instance, you might not believing this, but believe me, when a person is awakened, he will hear me or she. I know there are a lot of girls mostly on my channel. So the thoughts go into the background, and that's why you can see something which is unseen for the common people. Third point, you are no longer identified with the programs of the mind that cause you discomfort. Lost ability to suffer sincerely. You can immediately see where your legs grow from and why you created this theater of the absurdity. Exactly. Exactly. You see the part of yourself, the artificial programmed part of yourself, which reacts in this manner or that. And you become so adequate and so wise, I would say, that you see that, for example, your programs of having resentment or complaining have no power over you anymore because you see no sense, no meaning in using the same reactions. Then your mind will search for alternative, how you can improve without struggling with reality, without expectations from reality. You're just starting to use your creative mind to improve your quality of life by knowledge, which of course coming to you if you are curious and you want to find answers on any question. For example, when I got corona is a booster of reality and also cleansed planet of people who were very low, and they had this karma to reincarnate and go to another dimensions. And some people just raised their consciousness through corona. Me, the example of person who developed herself having corona. So I'm grateful to coronavirus. Weird, no? Yeah, because there is no good or bad. It's only the matter how you will use it, for your benefit or not. So when I was ill, let's say so, I again searched for information about fasting as a tool to cure yourself of any diseases and inflammations in the body. And it led me to transformation of all my body, all my organs and systems, and cleansed my intercellular space to that degree that I'm like electrobiorobot. I don't need food so much as before. I can easily, without any detoxifying symptoms, stay without food for at least 3 days. It's only my psyche who still eats. I believe that my body is autonomous. My psyche is autonomous. It doesn't depend on external circumstances. Like the machine, which is being tuned to receive, like Tesla car, to receive the information and all energy out of space. And our ancestors knew about it. Though at some point I won't be talking about conspiracy so much, but I would say that at some point in the capitalistic world, where people are living for gaining as much money as they want, they created a lot of artificial tastes to make people be addicted to food. Not natural food, unfortunately, but some kind of drugs, which are not perceived as drugs because this is food. It's for our survival. But at the same time, you know about sugar addiction, for instance. Some people can't live without sugar, and I've been addicted to sugar so much. And if still my psyche fluctuating, because I consider myself in 4d now, not completely in 5d, unfortunately, but this is a way, and it's a very long path. So sometimes my psyche cracks, and I want a taste of sugar in my tongue to calm down. These mechanisms are very codependent, and some wise people on the top know about it, how to control people with the tastes, with the food addiction, with the drug addiction, with the sex addiction, hormonal addiction. When you discover yourself, how you work, how your psyche works, your body, hormonal system, you understand clearly that we have lack of information at schools, everywhere. So we have no idea what happens, though we are being controlled, absolutely. Maybe without control, we would have chaos on the planet. But I don't think so, because I think that our pure initial nature is love, empathy for everyone, no matter what race you are, what religion, what color of skin. I like the idea in America about the acceptance of everyone, that everyone has a right to be. Though sometimes I see how many people suffer here as well out of their habits. Obesity, I see everywhere. It's uncontrolled, it's not healthy. But sometimes a person loses this connection with himself, and he cannot find the reason why he overeats, for example. And when we are very low, it's very hard to pull ourselves to the surface and see and abstract from what is happening to see what is really the cause, the main cause. Yeah, it's very sad. Sometimes I want to save the whole world, but I understand that this is a very wise scenario of life. Even politicians who seem evil to us, sometimes they trigger some transformational processes, and maybe their bad mission of these bad guys only for the help of the planet to raise the frequencies, to make people feel awake. Someone will raise their awareness and cleanse their body, for example, and be more appreciating people around, be more of help to everyone whom we can help. But sometimes we are helping, imposing our picture of the world to someone who doesn't want to change. And this is also violence. I had this teacher aspect in me, which is very strong. And sometimes I can impose my opinion to someone whom I want to help sincerely. Yeah, I see this disadvantage in myself. But it's very good when someone calls me and says, Lisa, I want your consultations. Then he pays me money, and I can give all my luggage of knowledge to someone who really needs help and who will hear me because he paid money. When we pay something, we feel that we invested, and that's why we appreciate this help much more. When we get something for free, usually our psyche says, okay, it's not so valuable. I also noticed this out of my experience, because when I buy some program and develop myself, I invest it, I really appreciate it more, and I use it much better and much effective in my life. So I told you about the programs of your mind causing you discomfort. Yes, you see what makes your life worse. you are cleansing yourself of your bloodline programs. Even you can heal all your bloodline through healing yourself. Okay, fourth point. You like to spend time alone or in nature. Sometimes it seems that no one and nothing is needed anymore. Being in the pure perception of the moment gives incomparable pleasure. Yes, I totally agree with this conception. You become so self-sufficient that you are not bored with the reality. People are living on stimulants. They consume entertainment and pleasure. They feel anxiety when they stay alone with their thoughts, of course, because their mind is too dirty. But when you stay in this clarity, in this unconditional bliss, you see that the reality is very interesting as it is. You can walk and contemplate. You save your energy because we spend a lot of energy on thoughts and so on. And some insights come to you. You are more loving. You want to create something also being alone. For example, you writing something or you filming something or creating music, whatever cause interest inside you. You can dedicate your time to it and spend alone for years, I would say centuries alone. You don't need to gain love out of someone. You don't need anyone's attention. But let's say differently, you want to express yourself in reality, and I like social media for this, that you can share with a lot of people without contacting them in reality. Though any contact you face at the grocery or wherever you go also is very precious because you are being in the moment and you see the beauty of any creature who stands next to you. It's a very beautiful state. You don't need so many entertainment, which will cause you adrenaline, for example, or another hormones of pleasure. Easy pleasures, as they call them, based on dopamine, which also make us degrade because we don't want to develop our consciousness and reach some kind of more complex ways to receive pleasure. Complex pleasures are sports, for example, no matter what it is, but I prefer Kundalini yoga as it has more possibilities to give us range of hormones which different sport cannot give us. For example, to release morphine, the drug of relaxation, opium drug, which makes our parasympathetic nervous system be more relaxed and more blissful. So yeah, I prefer Kundalini yoga. Also, complex pleasure is out of some business you completed, some project that you embodied to the reality, and you feel so much pleasure and satisfaction that no chocolate, no alcohol, or visiting cinema or theater even won't give you such pleasure. And also communication as such, as an art, also complex pleasure. People are precious. People are not vampires. We are vampiring ourselves with our assessments, judgments, and distorted perception. Usually people only helping us to see what dirt remained in us and to process it. So don't think that other people are aggressors. Just feel what is inside you, and be sure that by the Rosenthal effect, they will be only reflecting what is within always. It's so obvious for me right now that the reality itself is very friendly. No one wishes you bad things. Everyone takes care only about their problems, you know. That's why no one intentionally will cause you anything if you understand that there is nothing inside you that can be triggered no more. You won't simply react. And when you are not reacting, the situation itself won't be repeating in your reality again and again. So you learn the lesson. For example, you was dating with a narcissist or abuser who was only reflecting your lack of love within. That's why it won't be interesting to play in this game anymore when you process and realize all of the lesson which this person by his awful behavior caused you. This wisdom comes after spiritual awakening. Complex pleasures are the pleasure of creation when you are not consumer, but you are creator of something. For someone, it's material objects, some craft, pictures, or some things for our daily life. It's creativity. For someone as me, it's more art through ability to speak or to film something or to sing and share knowledge. This is my creativity, but we are very different. Find your own interest and how you can express your talents and give it this precious talent to the reality. Someone will definitely need it. 5. There is no more importance of your person. Individuality and creative self-expression remain. love for yourself as a part of creation, but there's no one who would want to break all records and prove something to someone. Yes, the idea of alpha man or alpha woman cease to be needed anymore because you see that there is no competition, that you are absolutely unique. You have unique path, and everything comes to you just in time where you need it. And believe me, all your dreams, if they are very sincere, and they will come true. And all you have to do is only act somehow, even not strictly according to the plan, but spontaneously using your creative nature of the God, of the Creator, and see what happens. Sometimes you will receive some random proposal of a job or some project which, from the point of view of mind, won't give you any perspective. But with the experience, and if you feel connection, if you feel yes inside you, you definitely will see that this event also made some big step towards your goal. This is how reality works. That's why I don't have any exact plans. For example, when I moved to America, I was expecting and I was willing to do only what I love and only my business and develop in music, for example. But all circumstances, maybe, not maybe, but of course, I'm the reason of it, changed the whole scenario. And I had to find myself a job, local job, which I, after 2 months of searching for a job in Austin, I finally found something for myself. And it's very exciting for me because it's overnight shift. I will be like true vampire because I'm not sleeping so much as other people because I have boost of energy. So I can spend time in very attractive place, overnight shift. Don't think that I'm doing some dirty business at night. No, it's very cool, calm job where I think my ability to concentrate and to be attentive to detail will play a huge role. I will share how it goes. And yeah, I was expecting that I will be free, we'll have a lot of adventures, traveling and so on. But for some reason, I need to be there. It's very beautiful and I would say legendary place of Austin. I'm very happy to get such job because, who knows where it leads. Also, I reconsidered my approach to anything I do. Now I'm not working for free. I was talking about the laws of universe, where I said that the exchange of energy should be equal, but seems like I gave much more than I received in the monetary equivalent. And it broke my heart in some way because I fell immediately to the victim state. Like, I deserve more. Why they're not paying me? Why they don't want to buy my exclusive practices, for example? They are so useful. I myself do them with me, and it's not so expensive. I always say you can buy only for 1 month for $30 this access and practice huge amount of beautiful practices which will help you to tune yourself to balance hemispheres of brain. I have a lot of exclusive practices which for the brain because I know that the work with the brain is the major in our whole body because in brain we have pituitary gland, hypothalamus, and they are controlling all our bodily systems. So this is the best investment. Sometimes I don't understand why people are ready to buy themselves some stuff which they will throw the other day, but they don't want to invest in their health. But I released this grip of control of my business and I said to myself, I will share only when I have energy and only if I'm being paid. Very rational decision. And now I feel more free. I will feel more stable. You know that I'm enlightened and that I in this high blissful states most of the time doesn't deprive me of social life and, for example, desires of person who wants to learn how to drive car, to get car license, to travel and so on. So you are in the reality, but you are above what is happening. You see everything more clearer and helps you to survive. I believe that evolution of consciousness, this is the only way nowadays to survive. And all reality shows us that we need to grow. We need to grow from this consumption and immature psyche of the vision of reality where people are guilty, not you, when you don't see cause effect, why it happened, how to change something, how to improve, and so on. Okay, complain a little bit, moving further. 6th point, eating habits and daily routine are changing. Heavy food 3 times a day is incompatible with life in other states of consciousness, as well as 8-hour sleep. Often the body itself asks for life without food or rare meals. Absolutely true. For anyone who really faced such phenomena as malnutrition and that your body doesn't need emotional stabilization with the help of food, you are so nourished from within, that you don't feel any hunger. What is considered hunger in the common understanding? Usually this is excess bile, which causes inflammation and discomfort in the stomach. And even if the person is overweight, he feels so-called hunger, which is not hunger and only acidic processes in the stomach, and consumes something to calm down and to feel satisfaction and to keep himself off the irritation, which of course happens when we are so-called hungry. How to improve this thing? I was reading a bunch of books about fasting, about cleansing, and I came to some results. I had very acidic stomach, very sick stomach, I would say, and I was feeling this irritation out of this discomfort for a long time. But life gave me beautiful naturopathic doctor Kate, who showed me how to cleanse yourself of excessive bile with the help of natural herbs. She led me through big journey of cleansing my clogged liver, my bile ducts, and now I feel free. I feel great. I feel light. I don't know how to explain all these coincidences in my life, but they are miraculous. And together, we also offering people to go the same way. Even if you don't want to become breatharian, you want to enjoy your meals, you like to cook, for example, though still you can cleanse your body and be more connected to nutrition, which your body really needs at this moment. It will be more intuitive nutrition, but only after cleansing. Because to say that I want sugar and I want alcohol and my body needs it, or I need cookies or cake, this is completely wrong, because I speak of parasites which help us to digest all this stuff. And they also causing us trouble and disbalance. So parasitic forms living in us are helpers, but at the same time, they eat our nutrients and so on. I have the whole playlist about this matter. I don't want to stop on food issues for a long time. For me, it's not interesting anymore. I just know that one day I will be eating even more rare. Once a week, once a month, because I'm not dependent on food as I was before. And it also connected with my emotional state, my perception of reality. I don't have to calm down myself with food, like the mother's breast. I also repeated this plenty of times, though people have limiting beliefs that they need a bunch of nutrients from the outside. They live in the state of mind, which I can call the state of deficiency. We always think that we are so imperfect. We are not trusting creator who built genius machine, electro by robot. We're saying that we are so poor in deficiency. We need this supplement, artificial. We need to. But guys, you should understand this is marketing. People selling their products and their goal to make you buy some supplements because you want to heal yourself. Of course, when we feel very bad, we are searching for remedy, but the remedy is within. Body is genius. It heals ourselves with even intermittent dry fasting for 24 hours. At the first stages, it will be unbearable. You will have detoxifying effect, a headache, or nervousness. And mistakenly, many people say, oh, this is because I'm not eating, I have not enough nutrients. But it will be gone with the time. Just give yourself a time. Give your body freedom to cleanse itself. Past 90 days of Alchemy of Health program. It's genius, as my friend Kate. She's living without food for more than 2 months by now. She has a long, long path of self-healing. She had a broken backbone, out of living with narcissist alcoholic. So person who faces the state close to death and loses health, only then person starts thinking, what I can do to help myself. Like Joe Dispenza, who broke his backbone, healed himself with the power of his consciousness, and now he is absolutely outstanding neurophysiologist and speaker who helps millions of people all over the world. I also was suffering with a lack of energy and depression through all my life, and that's why I was so tired of these states that I started to search a way out of this cage. Creativity, less food, less sleep. You don't have to torture yourself and deprive artificially. Sometimes only a little bit more disciplined, or try to change your routine. Change the hours when you sleep. Change the hours when you eat. And you see that your neuroplasticity will improve. You will gain new habits. Only when you cut this Groundhog Day, you will see that something new happens. Your mind, with this ability to adapt to changing circumstances, will grow and will develop, expand naturally when we use something new. We are using different approaches. We are not living automatically. And this is the main idea, to cut these neural circuits, which were so rigid that it caused us suffering. About the neurophysiology of suffering, I'm speaking in the different previous talks. Seventh point, the desire to create opens up, and at the same time, the fear of evaluation disappears. Yes, it's true. In 5D, in 4D, not in 3D world, we change our perception of ourselves. We are not so strict and so self-criticizing, and we believe in ourselves as a loving parent who supports, who makes you feel that you are accepted, first of all, by yourself. And only then, again, by the Rosenfeld effect, the reality and people will mirror you, your attitude towards yourself. You see that the critical things are living only in your head, and other people just spell what you feel for yourself. For instance, I want to give more examples to make you understand. I told you that I had this victim state of being not appreciated, that I gave so much and I'm counting like dollars to pay for rent, though I have a bunch of knowledge and wisdom, blah, blah, blah. And when I told myself that I will no longer post anything for free, I mean classes of Kundalini, because it takes a long time to create film, and I put energy and my time to this process, I started to promote some exclusive Kriyas on my Instagram and on YouTube. And someone commented, "No, you need to share for free. How dare you sharing this for money and asking to be paid?" I just smiled and deleted this comment, because I clearly see that these are my programs. Like something inside me says me, "No, Lisa, you need to serve people and to live out of nothing, like no money. You need to suffer to make other people feel happy. Like sacrificing yourself and your time to other people. Who needs this victim? No one needs it. Everyone loves prosperous, rich people who have impact on this planet. Elon Musk, who have a bunch of money, he can affect much more than poor Lisa, who cannot pay for the rent. Surely. That's why I saw that this guy only mirrors me, my conceptions, my, let's say, issue, which is relevant, but this concrete moment of time. I was suffering at that moment, seeing myself at, oh, but how I can say them that they need to pay money? Maybe someone will be resistant. But come on, guys, I have 100 free classes which are perfect as well. They are not as good as the latest one because I improve the quality of my job. But still, they work the same good. So if person have no money objectively and wants to help himself, of course, he can use them for free. Maybe when he heals himself and be grateful to me, he will click the super likes function, which I activated recently, to send me $2 just for one Kriya. And this will play for me. Of course, I will be very grateful to any support. The next one. Acceptance and deep understanding of other people intensifies. The desire to impose one's opinion disappears. Empathy increases. I think I was mentioning everything in advance through this video. But you see clearly that the reality is very harmonious in that way, that all bad events are happening for something. There is a great wisdom which is not obvious due to our perception that we should be kind, everything should be only good. But you never know what happens for what and why you are suffering right now, for what precious gift you are suffering. I'm not saying that you need to suffer to gain something, but at the same time, acceptance opens up only with understanding that you can reverse your whole reality out of that event. We are such interesting, lazy creatures that we are growing only out of suffering, most of people. Some people have this inner core and motivation, naturally born motivation, like, I don't know who, Steve Jobs, for example. He was a highly motivated person with the idea in his head. He was driven by this idea. But not all people have such mindset. I would say it's also like the trait with which he was born, maybe because his soul had this mission he had to fulfill and it was guiding him through life. I'm kind of this type of person because I cannot stop and just enjoy. I'm a manifesting generator. I need to create. I need to develop constantly. If I stuck at some moment, I get depression. So overworking for me, it's my nature. It's not because I have anxiety and this idea to be alpha girl and to be the best of the best. No, but yeah, this is my complex pleasure. You understand how you work, how other people work, and you allow yourself to be yourself, truly accepting without lies all your traits which were given by God. For example, you are not lazy, but a little bit more slower in your motions than other people. Maybe you have such a calm mind which makes you introvert, or vice versa, you are hyper energetic. You want to gather people to make them listen to you 24 hours a 7. This is your nature. You are like the cell of the whole organism which was born for some role. Which role you play in this reality? No one can tell you, but through Kundalini yoga, you can reveal your intuition and connect with your higher self, they call it. But I would say with this knowledge, without words, that you will express yourself freely with all your individuality and uniqueness. You feel empathy more. You feel everything. Literally, you see the thoughts. You can read thoughts of people. Telepathy, as I see now, it's our basic trait, which is developed differently in person, depends on his cleanliness of his consciousness and body, because we're like a channel. The cleaner the channel is, the more information comes. And yes, when I see person, oh my God, sometimes it's very hard because you literally see how people react, what they think regarding you, even with the like little movements of their eyeballs, you clearly see everything. And then you can understand them more and accept their position. They have a right for their position. Everyone has a right to live how he wants to live. Of course, if he doesn't cause any trouble to other people. And even if he causes this trouble, maybe it also contains some wisdom. 9th point, superpowers open episodes of telepathy, foresight, and alignment of events with the help of the power of intention. Magic becomes part of reality. It's all about Carl Jung synchronicity phenomena, when all frequency picture of your reality, very high vibrational, forms events. For instance, you don't have to do anything sometimes to attract proposal or even life partner, because he will appear out of nothing, literally out of the air in front of you when you will be ready, when all your energy will be consolidated and concentrated at some position, stable position of high vibration, for instance. Vice versa, when we are very low, we can meet some troubles, car accidents, or for instance, I had a roll back to victim state in December, and right away, the very same evening, I went to grocery and some drug addict was chasing me and trying to grab money from me because I have no car, only backpack with some avocado. His eyes were so wild. I'm a very calm person. It's very hard to make me scared. But when you are standing in the dark street and some skinny druggie wants to, like, you need to help me. You need to help me. He was so wild. And at that moment, I returned back my awareness, stuck for a second, like literally 2 seconds, and say, wow, Lisa, what the hell is going on? How you shifted so down that you met someone like this? I was so calm. I looked into his eyes and said, I can help you, guy. Keep the distance. If you will move closer, I will call my boyfriend. He was chasing me for a while. I was looking back and I see that he's approaching me and then he distances, like chasing a victim. But as far as I managed my reality, just at the very moment, he disappeared. I saved myself. Maybe if I would react aggressively or vice versa, scared, maybe he would do something with me because his fists were shaking like, you need to help me, you need to help me, you need to help me. Just imagine this scary movie. I was looking at him, really? Is it for real? Or this reality just reflects my inner state? Yes, it is. Be aware. Everything happens only as a reflection. It was about the power of intention. Okay, the positive example. Good intentions also fulfill rapidly in our reality. You just need to be relaxed, happy, and grateful. Feeling of great gratitude does miracles, though we cannot be grateful if we are in victim state. work out all victim patterns. People should remember who they are, that they are embodied gods and they can create anything. If you sincerely want something, it will appear sooner or later. You need only to concentrate and to have this knowledge, not the faith or belief, but knowledge. I will get it, no matter how, no matter when. But surely this is my path because I've chosen it. And you will miraculously attract people and events. You don't have to visualize. I would say rather we need to have desire, accept it, have the knowledge that it will be our reality soon, feel the pleasure in the body out of this reality, like drive a new car or something, and then release the importance of the event. Importance, this is what prevents us of fulfillment, the rapid fulfillment of our desires. Too much concentration, too much attention, too much thoughts and overthinking interrupts the current of the flow, which will definitely appear if we release the grip of control and will be relaxed and accepting, enjoying the picture we see now. There is no future. We won't gain any happiness in future if we're not happy right now. This is the credo of my life. What makes me believe that somewhere in other place with different person, in different state of mind or body, I will be happier. If right now I can't make myself happy out of just beingness, to be in this picture, to perceive smells, colors, the sound of my voice, people around me, so interesting, like a dream. And the decorations might be changing around, but at the same time, I'm not changing. There is something which still observes the reality and enjoys it no matter what's happening. And of course, like every people, I like some interesting events or some kind of new experiences, what we're doing for the first time. But at the same time, I'm absolutely okay by staying alone for hours, doing some routine job. And superpower will reveal when we cleansing our channels, as I told you. What is interesting for me now is rejuvenation, the programming of my brain to those scenarios of life which I want to play in. For instance, I believe that we play the games in reality which we sincerely want to play. Someone is really excited of relationships and emotional swings which are connected to these relationships, for instance. And you cannot explain person that he created this or she and wants these games. But when he's done with this game, you say, oh, this is boring, it's so obvious. Like, I want like healthy relationships. For someone who is emotionally addict, healthy relationships will seem boring. And for me, it's interesting to travel through dimensions with my consciousness, being in the world, and at the same time to contact those civilizations or whoever who is above me. And definitely, if my consciousness will be ready, they will contact me. I won't be foreseeing events, but I feel like I will be the pure channel of something, some message, or I don't know, maybe some super abilities. I can channel arts, for instance, new songs and so on. When we're busy with toilet digestion, when we're busy with this constant consumption, it takes our attention and we don't see anything beyond our digestive organs, poo in the toilet, buying some foods to cook more and so on. Or when our attention is in suffering, in some problems created with the mind, we also can discover our real natural abilities. I believe in telekinesis. I heard stories about such kind of things. Also, I heard of portals, energy, waterfalls, which you see somewhere in space. It's like the transparent currents of energy. And you have the knowledge that you can enter this portal and travel through different worlds and dimensions. I absolutely know that this is truth. I feel it without words. I don't need even any kind of confirmations. Because if our reality is not so real, it's like a huge hologram which we can operate, then I can suppose that there are plenty of realities and games in which a lot of avatars with these hyper real super effects, sensual effects, they move, operate, interact with each other and gaining some experiences. Life is a game. Which game you are choosing for yourself, it's only your choice. No one will take your will out of you. You have the power of your choice and will. Though at the same time, maybe we are being determined to something, this scenario or that, right before our incarnation. I feel that since childhood, I felt my taste, the taste of my energy, the taste of my soul, and my predisposition to some craft, to be artist, to express myself through movements, voice, and so on. But not necessarily, it can be changed. Maybe if I do believe that the aging process is also only a mental program. I see it clearly now. Maybe in 200 years, if I still alive in the same body, the same young body, I will become a scientist or whoever. But now I'm interested in this discovering of my abilities and traveling through dimensions. At the same time, being very socialized and living the common life as everyone. 11th point. No, 10th point, I skipped it. Rejuvenation of the whole organism, healing from chronic diseases. Yes, this is consequence of cleanliness. You can use all tools, intermittent fastings, changing your nutrition, sports, or herbal cleansing, wherever your soul feels for you will be beneficial. It's very individual sometimes. It's the path. That's why I'm not imposing exactly yoga or exactly herbal cleansing, though these tools were checked in my experience, and I can absolutely guarantee that it works. And you gain this quantum leap of your health once you also realized all your mental programs, which causing you the boost of your cortisol with adrenals, for instance. You see that you poisoning yourself with your psyche and with your distorted perception of reality. Once you are aware and you have this experience of detachment from the mental programs, you release this suffering, subjective suffering, and your body reacts accordingly, feeling more relaxation, gets rid of all clamped emotions stuck inside. Also, through Kundalini yoga, we can help ourselves to release anger and all suppressed emotions. And our internal organs also rejuvenate, I would say, recover, restore their systems. Once we balance our hormonal system, our nervous system, the whole body starts to work properly as it should. Give yourself time. I also had not so fast path as I wanted. I'm a very impatient person. I want right now, always. But I see, and looking back, even through 1 year, I changed my body rapidly. First of all, I was losing weight out of decreasing of food because it was completely new to my body and it was a little bit maybe shocked what happens. But at the same time, it's like nulling your whole systems. You reset your brain, you reset your body, you lose body weight at some degree, that it also loses the old programs. Like also, I cut my hair short because I wanted to cut these old experiences. And they say what's interesting, when we have very short hair, we can travel through high dimensions. At the same time, long hair also, like antennas, can grab some intuitive knowledge. What I would suggest everyone to feel his internal need and internal desire at the very moment when for some time something inside you tells you, oh my God, I need to cut my hair. I don't know why, for what. It's intuitive knowledge, which is very wise. Our ancestors knew about it. This knowledge was lost. I guess that everyone can unpack this knowledge once we become more self-aware of who we are, and then the information comes. I can spend hours talking about stories about people who live in for 200 years, but you will never believe if you won't check the abilities of your body on your own. If we have some limiting beliefs still regarding money, relationships, wherever, regarding health, nutrients, and so on, we will stuck in some game which we're playing, which will keep us in some exact scenario of our reality. We cannot move beyond this scenario unless we discover something new within. I'm excited with different things, and this is okay at this concrete stage of my development. And I'm even more excited with my night job and just being in the moment, because I know that we are being ruled by the moon energy during night, and while we're sleeping, some programs are being loaded to our consciousness. That's why sometimes a person has such creative idea right before going to sleep, but after sleeping, he annuls his brain and has no desire to create, as the sacral energy of our second chakra seems to stop its work or being a little bit, how can I say, affected with the sleep in the manner of losing creativity. You can reveal your creativity, it's endless. You can do kriyas of Kundalini yoga for the throat chakra and second chakra to make yourself be more open, to express yourself. But I would say that night sleep causes us not only rest from consumption of a bunch of food, but also damages some energetic attunements at the same time. You may not believe me and claim me that I'm talking some different information which you never heard from doctors and so on, but I share only my experience. At some point, I will repeat, at some point of development, sleep is not needed as much as it's needed in the low states of consciousness when we want to switch off reality and escape from it, hiding ourselves from ourselves because we don't want to bear our mad mind. And we run into sleep to be relaxed. And at this point, 8 hours of sleep is very beneficial. It gives us at least intermittent dry fasting because we're not eating during night. And all our body relaxes. And some processes in the brain also happen. But when we change our psyche, we change our lifestyle and all systems work differently, all glands working differently. Too much sleep, vice versa, causes discomfort and blurred perception as also some drug. The less I sleep, the less I eat, the better I feel myself. This is my experience. 11th point and the last one, and I will finish my speech. The world is perceived as a game, real and not at the same time, as in lucid dream, where you are not a victim but a creator. Yeah, it's like a resume of what I said above. Again, I will repeat that this transition from 3D perception, limited beliefs, conception, and perceiving yourself as a victim of objective reality, the process of transition is very hard. It starts with cleansing all your mental programs, all your clogged body at all levels, mental body, physical body, and all the subtle bodies we have. It's a very smooth process, and it's better to move slowly, not rapidly, because if we cause very rapid changes in nutrition, in lifestyle, then we will have very hard rollbacks because our psyche has protective mechanisms which doesn't allow us to risk our body and keeps us in this reality which is understandable for the whole system. Though sometimes this comfort zone begins to be a swamp where we lose energy and we feel when we're stuck somewhere and we need to move further. But these limiting beliefs or psyche mechanisms protect us out from new experiences because we have subconscious illusion survival thing that somewhere will be more dangerous and we need to save our body and to keep ourselves in the frames. Though when you will be more open, when you will realize that you are eternal, there is no death, it's only the change of dimension. You won't be perceiving death as tragedy no more. That's why you will not be afraid of some disasters around. You will be more relaxed, and it will cause the fact that you won't attract any bad events eventually. And then you will be operating your reality with more joy, more playful states, and the whole experience of your trip, I would say. Your life will be, I don't know, it will be just as it should be. Even what I'm telling right now is also the part of someone's hallucination and scenario. Take this life easier. Take it easy, baby. Take it as it comes. Stay tuned. Subscribe to my channel. Share this channel if it helped you. Practice free classes, 100 beautiful videos on my channel. Use playlists to create and structurize your practices. Working out all chakras, intuitively choosing kriyas. Also, you can pay only $30 and practice at this moment 30 beautiful kriyas and meditations, which I film more and more monthly. And yeah, and then you can easily unsubscribe in your Google or Apple store, so you can come back to them after several months and so on. You can also put super like under any video you liked and donate me some amount. Yeah, I also have consultations. I can do tarot readings. I can do private sessions, spend 90 minutes together and help you to deal with struggles you're facing right now, to lead you to the better scenarios of your life, to tune you to another reality where you will be happy, to shift your reality, as I like to call it. Stay true and kind. The rest things, never mind. Satnam, truth is my name.